Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the stuff from Crown Zenith, make sure you check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your orders using that code OmniPoke. For today's video, we are going to be looking at Rotom VSTAR, a pretty fun card from the new Crown Zenith expansion. We already had the Rotom V for a long time, actually, but the VSTAR has finally come to join in. Definitely a helpful boost in stats. We get an extra 60 hit points. We also get an extra 40 base damage on our Scrap attack, where we are trying to Lost Zone a ton of tool cards that we throw into the discard pile. So the overall emphasis of this deck into multi-prize matchups, at least, is going to be get as many tools into the bin as quickly as possible, and then we can choose to Lost Zone the amount to reach knockouts on those sorts of Pokemon, which is going to be really important. We are Lightning type, of course, which is helpful against Lugia, no doubt, and we also do gain the V-Star power in Conversion Star, allowing us to discard any number of cards from hand and then draw that many. It's a really nice cycle ability if we really want to go down that direction. Now, typically, we will be using the new Sky Seal Stone into matchups where we are up against V-Stars and V-Maxes, at least that's the idea. So we won't use this too often, but you can use this against things like Vikavolt and whatnot to just allow us to have some cycle in the deck, which isn't too bad when you can't take use of the Sky Seal Stone. So we are playing 2 of the Rotom VSTAR and 4 of the Rotom V. It has a really handy ability, the Instant Charge, allowing us to draw 3 to end our turn. It's similar to Azation, but we can't get any added energy benefits. But the Scrap Short does 40 plus 40 more for each tool that we're Lost Zoning from the discard pile, which is a little bit less than the V-Star, but it's the thing that we can use aggressively alongside the new Sky Seal Stone, which is, of course, a tool card, adding to our overall amount of tools in the deck. But it means we can get that big uptrade into V-Star or V-Maxes. We simply flip our V-Star marker, and then if we are knocking out one of those, we take the extra prize card. What's really nice about the Sky Seal Stone, it doesn't have to be attached to the Rotom. You can attach it to your Crobat, your Articuno, your Lumineon, which means you can have your Rotom sat with other tools like EXP Share, for example, to keep your chain of attackers going, because we have a 2 lightning attack cost for both our Rotoms here, and you don't have to worry about not getting the value from the Sky Seal Stone. You can use that Star Order and then any of your Vs. If they take a knockout that turn, you get the added benefit, which is really, really strong. So we are playing a huge number of tools. We have 2 Seal Stone, 2 EXP Share, alongside 2 Raihan, so we can chain those attacks. We are playing 4 of the Scroll of Piercing, as well as Scroll of Scorn. We have no intention of using these effects or putting them into play. We are simply using them for fodder with Tower of Darkness, so we're discarding and drawing 2 off of these tools specifically. We are playing for Air Balloon to move between our dudes, but you may notice that I am playing a Flying Pikachu package with Radiant Eternatus. So we are playing 2 Parasol, trying to give ourselves a Flying Pikachu VMAX Max Balloon win condition against certainly Reggie's, and also going to try and be a thorn in the side of some Lost Boxes. I think we're still a little bit light on disruption for the Lost Box matchup. They can still do some rote boss plays and shenanigans, but we're going to try and be disruptive with that Max Balloon the entire time. We have the new Radiant Eternatus, so we are actually using a lot of new cards from Crown Zenith here. It's a coming into play effect with the Radiant Eternatus. It does end our turn, but it immediately allows us to search the deck for 2 VMAX Pokemon. I probably would just go ahead and slam double Flying Peak against the likes of Reggie's and against the likes of Lost Box if possible. Maybe just 1 Flying Peak if I was up against Kyogre, but otherwise I try and get the double peak out and hope that one of these come through for you. We do have Raihan and 1 double turbo, so I'm hoping that we can possibly burst a Max Balloon out of nowhere after using like an early Rotom. I can easily foresee the early game going, attach the Rotom, end on an Eternatus, turn 2, try and get as many prizes early with Scrap Short as you can, and then pivot into a Pikachu sort of mid-game is going to be my main emphasis here. I think possibly if you want to be a little bit more serious about this, you could add in like Roxanne or Judge or Marnie to this list to have a better time into the Lost Boxes in particular, because I still feel we're a little bit light in that regard. I think we'll be pretty fine against Reggie's with the Parasol Peak combo, but possibly not enough against Lost Box, something I need to try out more but I didn't really want to water down the deck too much. I wanted to keep the core element of the deck, which is just blow stuff up with Rotom, very much at play here. So I am trying to have a little bit of respect for matchups in the format rather than just showing you, here's a deck with 50 tools, let's just do a ton of damage. I'm trying to make it at least relevant for the format, but I do think it obviously hurts the overall like consistency when we are into the multi-prize matchups, but we pretty much can't just ignore some of the best decks in the game, right? It's pretty irresponsible. As we are going to go second here, we'll see what our opponent is playing and see what direction we want to go down. Are we going to be trying to Flying Peak, or are we going to be scrapping out with all of our tools? Pretty decent opening hand. We have Quick Ball as well as Tower and Speed draws here, which is looking really nice for us. Just incidentally, if you don't believe in the Flying Pikachu Eternatus package, you could play Radiant Greninja. It doesn't really draw many cards in the deck because you normally want to attach your speeds, but it could be a way to get rid of a couple Lightning Energy. Incidentally, we are going to be up against a Lost Box deck, so we definitely want to use the Eternatus section of our list, that's for sure. They got rid of a Sinnoh. Very happy to see that go, because I don't want to tangle with Temple. I want to be using DTE on my Flying Peak. So the one anti-synergy with Eternatus is it means we can't use Instant Charge to end our turn, but I think we have enough draw already in the hand where it's not going to be a huge problem. The opponent's going to cycle a Net, retreat into Comfey, get another one in. Gets rid of Chorus, so they've got a very good hand, clearly. Just the pass. Alright. So we're going to start with Tower. That can go. I think I like attaching the speed to the Rotom here. There are some risks of drawing into the drawing into Flying Pikachu. I do play Guru and a turn though, so I can just do that now. And we have both, so that's looking pretty good. I think we're just going to end on Guru Eternatus, to be honest. Let's do this. I suppose I meant to Guru first, because if I hit Eternatus, I don't have to play Quick Ball, and I can turn it into a fish or a bat. Okay. I think we just get rid of Air Balloon here. I already put one Lightning in the bin, right? Yep, that's looking fine. And we'll just end on Eternatus for some Flying Pika action. And, yes, let's get two VMAXs into play and see how they deal with these boys. Surprise, I actually have an out for your deck. It is also possible that we just play basic Flying Pikachus and VMAXs, but I think this is the best way to cheat space. Because I think like just a 1-1 Flying Pikachu line probably isn't enough, but a 2 VMAX would be better. Looks like we're actually up against Goodra though, so they should have a pretty good answer to Flying P, which is a real shame. I've jumped the gun. They didn't show any Goodra pieces. I guess I should have known from the temple, but that's not like a guaranteed giveaway. Some people play it for Ice Q. But it is just going to be a Spit Innocently here, which means I've wasted a ton of my board space on stuff that I really don't want to use too much, which is a real shame. But we carry on regardless. So we have an easy Scrap KO active. Pretty happy Parasoling. I think I'm pretty happy Guruing a Research to the top to just make sure I keep that chain a-flowing. How badly do I need this stuff in the discard pile? I probably need very high damage output to actually get through the goo, so I'm still going to bin the second Parasol. I do like going into V-Star. It forces the goo to actually start rolling. So let's pop this on. I think we're going to get rid of another balloon here and establish EXP share onto another Rotom. That's looking like a play to me. We're sat on a ton of draw for next turn, and it means I can scrap Pulse without any discard here thanks to weakness or any lost zonage. So I'm keeping my damage available for this big goo. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 banked. And we need a lot to get through a V-Star. They're at 5. This chorus gets them to 7. They already got rid of a gate, so I assume they have access to one already. Gonna see a Comfey grab from a Hisuian. So they might continue to dance a little bit more here. Gudra, of course, has just got second place at the Liverpool Regionals, so not surprising that we're encountering it on the ladder. And we will just see the Rolling Iron. Okay. We will take the energy back. Let's go into Free Retreater. Alright, we're drawing a nice amount of cards here. I like benching this guy. I think I want to Guru Protect to speed here. That's fine. I think I can quite happily throw Crobat away. Maybe I just keep it. But my board space is just not there, right? If I'm ever putting another V down, it's probably just this Articuno. So I'm gonna toss the bats. I was really hoping I drew into Sky Seal Stone there, so I could try and take a extra prize here. They're threatening. They're effective 350 right now, and we're doing 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 400. So I can knock it out. I just really would have preferred to have done it with an extra prize. So if I'm not getting the extra prize, I should make the V-Star now. I also need to be wary that that was my last Air Balloon, so I can't get too overzealous getting rid of basic energy from this point onwards, so I'm going to have to pay retreat out of like a Eternatus. I suppose they don't know it's our last balloon, so it's a panic play if they are going to make that line. But we have 8. Yeah, we have plenty now, so I can knock this out. So 8 cancels, basically, right? So my base, I'd need to hit 280. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Which is actually 360, but we're cancelling the rolling. Boom. What a smack. It was a lot of tools. Oh, we actually hit our last Air Balloon. That's pretty big for us, actually. 6, 7. We have 8, 9 committed. Let's see how they play from here. I don't think I can make a heroic Serena KO next turn. We have 8. We have 160 right now. Maybe I could with, like, Top Deck or Guru. I suppose I could also Conversion Star to try and hit some tools to discard. They are going to put down another Goo, and we are going to see a Scoop Up Nets. I'm pretty sure this Rotom's safe for a turn, though. throw Air Marnie. We might be getting Roxanne as well, or Marnied, one of the two. Escape Rope is very good for us. I can just throw up a Parasol and ruin Sableye plays. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get rid of the Temple. Gonna capture. Gonna make another Goo. But they've got rid of... I guess they've only lost zoned 1, right? So they could double evolve. They're just gonna pass. There's no way they stay active here, right? Oh, they're gonna Marnie. This is such strange sequencing. Our hand wasn't great though, so I don't mind this. And they just concede. Don't really know about their last turn. Looks like they got themselves into a bit of a mess. I suppose they were worried about giving me the free Comfey prize and wanted to just absorb a hit with the V. And it would have, but that does come with huge risks. So yeah, nice win against Goo. We had spent a lot of resources there, but not too bad. Didn't get to see the Flying Pikachu actually like aggressively attacking, unfortunately. It's one of the downsides of Eternatus. If you do happen to start it, it's really bad because we don't play any nets. You hope that this only happens in a very small percentage of times when you're actually against a Lost Box or a Regis. And looks like we're up against an evolving deck, which is a relief. Lost Box and Regis won't be playing Cincino, right? It's going to be, yeah, Zoroark. Zoroark's definitely going to be a hard matchup for us, right? Because we don't, like, I was hoping that most one prize decks were going to be basics. So they're probably going to have a nice uptrade into us here. We're just going to have to hope that our V-Stars are tanky enough, but it's a tough ask, not going to lie. I'm going to start by drawing 2 here. Alright, I think just everything goes, honestly. Let's make a Rotom. Discard a Lightning. I think just making double Rotom, honestly. We even prized a V-Star, which is a shame. We'll get our energy in and we'll just research. Don't mind the early EXP share. Also, quite like this Air Balloon. Knowing I don't need much damage throughout the game. And we can just end on an instant charge. Keeping the one prizer active is obviously good news for us. Eternatus is actually pretty tanky. It has no weakness and it has 170 hit points. It's freaking massive. I don't know why they made it so big. It really, like... No one would have cared if it had 120 hit points, but they said, you know what, here's 170. It's so crazy. Alright, Flapple's pretty scary because I do play a ton of abilities. Like, there's already 3 in play. So I need to really be cautious about how many more I put down. Because otherwise that's just easy dubs for our Zoro player. I don't play any boss, I only play Serena. So I'm not really going to be able to affect their board too much. They might just be call for familying here. But I suppose dealing with Mincino isn't the worst thing in the world. Alright. Let's boot a scroll. Let's draw some cards. Let's evolve up. I think it's a pretty routine turn here. I don't need to do anything else. Like, I could do a monster research, but I'm actually a little bit wary of my energy attachments if I do that, so I think I just hold the research. Seeing as though, again, like, damage really isn't our issue. We do have fighting weakness, and it's pretty likely they're going to be playing a fighting chap of some description. Sometimes it's Route Cleavor, sometimes it's Wormadam. We'll have to see what they're packing. Just more make-dos for now. I mean, fighting type coverage has got a little bit less relevant, but still could be worthwhile for our opponent here. They're going to get a big Cynthia. Pretty nice. They're going to end up with a monster hand, and we again play no hand disruption, so... Like I said, we're pretty vulnerable against one prize matchups. It's really, did they get into the game? Yes. Yikes, you know. They have no one prize to attack with. So, pretty grim. As long as they get into the game. The best thing we can do is make 250 hit point chonkers. Breaks in, not doing anything just yet, but it's definitely a decent beat stick for them. There's the Zorro, so they can at least hit us for 150 this turn with a Mucus. As long as they have energy. Post-transformation. See. Yep. So looking like a Flapple hit here. Get back the Zorro. And the Mincino, looking pretty routine. Can actually capture so they can trade away the Mincino if they want to. I swear they had one more trade. Or make do, I should say. Gonna be an Ultra Ball first. Maybe more stage 1 fodder. Yep, there's the Wormadam. That looks to be their fighting answer. So 30 plus 10 more for each Mon in their discard pile. At the moment, it's 5. But it means probably our later Rotoms are going to get one shot, so I don't think we have much of a leg to stand on here, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Especially because we saw them get rid of a research, so we know their hand is, like, very good. But, yeah, let's toss this. Yeah, I literally have no other plays, right? I've just drawn back into more energy, so I still don't want to get rid of any of this stuff. I really just want to draw into Ball Search more than anything else. So I'll just scrap Paul. I suppose I could Conversion Star, because I have no other reason to do anything else. Yeah, let's Conversion Star. Let's get rid of this stuff. And I'll keep the two. I guess I have more single strike tools. I can just keep yeeting these. There's a ton of cards. Yeah, so Rotom's looking good. Oh, it does give him an extra ability, so I just hold on this now, right? Yeah, we just boot. Again, not much I can do here. The deck's just not built to deal with Zorobox. Zorobox is built to deal with the format and just happens to have answers to Rotom. But hey ho. They're going to start throwing more Mons in the bin to improve their worm action. They can also just keep flapping here because we're damaged. Oh, it is the worm. Okay. They play Wheezing. They have everything in here. But I'm pretty sure it's just like a done deal, right? I don't know. They have to just misplay from this point for us to win. So I'm just gonna have a quick concede because I want one more game, And this is just like an obvious losing battle because I have no answers in the deck. I suppose Zoro slips through the cracks for this deck. We are ultimately trying to either uptrade or punish basic attackers. Let's get one more game in and see if we can get a little luckier. We haven't really seen the Rotom deck on full cylinders because the Goodra game was kind of scuffed, right? I went the Pikachu route as soon as I saw Comfey, and then they're a completely different deck. The hand's not looking stellar, but I can at least fish for research and get rid of quite a few tools here. Looks like we're up against Arceus. Could be an Arc Dura, based on how they're playing their opening turn here with shoes. It is a matchup where we can blow stuff up, but there is a lot of meat to get through. Oh wow, so they're playing an Eternatus build of some kind. Maybe it's a new version of Arc Dura. Yeah, interesting. So, playing Eternatus in Arc Dura is so weird, because you're saying no to Trinity Charge, which is super busted. But hey-ho. Let's get rid of this stuff. And I think I gotta go fish research. My alternative is to go Rotom V and Sky Seal Stone attach, but it's just so bad against V-Star power, right? They can easily just boss bonk, so we gotta be a little responsible and try and get double Rotom developed. My other Sky Stone is prized, which is a real sad boy moment. But oh, I could just I'm an idiot. I should have just put the Sky Stone down. I don't need it on my Rotom. I could have just put it into play. So I am a fool. There I am complaining when it was completely fine. And we still only end up with one Rotom. Perfect. Alright. We just have to hope they have to research towards V-Star and don't just bonk the Rotom. I suppose 190 makes me possibly safe. I'm an idiot though. I forgot that Sky Stone can go on anything. I'm thinking in my head that it's like an ADP effect, but it's so weird that it works on like any V that turn. Because it has to be attached to AV, but not VV, if that makes sense. Oh, they got the tower value. Pog. Chorus into tower value. Hello. Into training court. None of these are Arceus V-Stars, so we get a real big break here. Because this Arceus is easily knockoutable, which is a sentence, a word that I've gone for. We also get some lightning energy back if I want it. I could lightning energy and EXP share another Rotom. We're always going V-Star, we're always ballooning active. Do I sack the speed, or do I have a few things going on in my head. I'm thinking, do I want to Guru a Raihan to the top and then rip the research? Or do I want to... Yeah, I think I want to Guru the Raihan, so I will speed. Do this. Get rid of this. Now that I drew EXP share off the speed, I can shuffle the Raihan into the deck. Can quite happily get rid of the other speed lightning here in the balloon. We can get a Rotom V. Oh, the EXP share thing's not actually true because I have 2 special energies developed, but okay. So I think I'm not playing these towers. No, because I need Raihan now, I still should. So I've kind of scuffed this a little bit. But we'll go again. We're just gonna cycle a Flying Peak here. We don't need to draw into them. We do draw back into Raihan, which is at least something. We have 8, 16, 20, 22. Yes, that's not a problem. And I suppose I shouldn't have been sweating about this EXP share so much, because he can't one-shot me, so I can just turn attach slowly. So let's just scrap Pulse. We go 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And stop the VSTAR power, which is looking pretty good. And we're hoping to get Sky Seal Stone off the prizes, because I have been an idiot, don't forget. We unfortunately don't, so I have to go through the Dura and the Eternatus. But it's going to be a fun challenge. Okay, they just choose to concede. I suppose they expect me to have one hit KO potential and they just have no follow-up to the Dura. Let's try and get one more game in, because that was kind of scuffed. Again, we haven't really had like a typical game against a typical deck. Because I suppose it's because I've been playing Rotom VSTAR on the ladder, so I'm quite low on the ladder. But we'll see. This Crobat loves to start in our hand, huh? Again, I have draw, I have tower, I have Serena. Speed if I can find a Rotom. Alright, this is looking Mew. This is looking very Mew. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a good matchup for Seal Stone to do the business. Oh. Why does no deck work in this game? Alright. Wow. Well, we're gonna Rotom, we're gonna Speed. I suppose I Sky Stone still. Because otherwise it's just gone. I could draw less with Serena and hold Speed, but that just sounds so dumb. Why draw less when I could draw more? I'm just going to go double Rotom here. I suppose I could go Guru and retreat into it, but they are like still half bricking, and I can win in 2 attacks. The problem is I don't want to get rid of Air Balloon if I'm going Guru active. I don't want to get rid of Lightning either. I don't want to get rid of anything in my hand if I go Guru. So I think I am bravely leaving Crobat active here. And saying that I can win in 2 attacks with Seal Stone, even if they do go... if they attempt the 2-2-2. Oh no, our Seal Stone. Oh, he got rid of Air Balloon. Oh, because he wants to live. I see, I see, I see. So we actually do just have game. Pretty sure, right? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Looks like we're not going to be able to get a traditional game in today. Looks like everyone's clowning around with Rotom. Which means you guys have to test it yourselves and see how it goes. I do think this is more of a fun deck for sure. Very fragile. You like half cover some matchups with the Flying Pikachu thing that I'm trying out, but let's be honest, it's still probably copium against Lost Box. They still have a lot of ways to rope boss you. Even just roping around Parasol and sprinkling, stuff like that can be really massive. So maybe the Pikachu's trying too hard. It definitely will help against the Regis, though. Let me know what you think down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video tomorrow. Cheers.